Hey everybody, before the show starts, log on to musicmoneymakeover.com/shop to download all my books and free guides. And while you're there, click on the book a call tab to book a one-on-one Zoom call with me to get all your music business questions solved. Enjoy the show. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Music Money Makeover Show. My name is Casey Graham, and on this episode, I've got Pharrell Williams sitting down with Steve Stoute, right? And they're talking some interesting facts, and I pulled 7 of them from this conversation they had on the United Masters channel about the music industry and business, and some things that maybe you already know, or possibly you don't know, or something that you overlook. And I'm going to break them down as I usually do on this channel. Now, if you don't know, Steve Stoute is a serial marketer and entrepreneur. He's also the author of this book right here, The Tanning of America. Bought this a while ago. I forgot when this came out, but oops. But yes, this is a really great book. I recommend that a lot of you all actually go and get this book, The Tanning of America. And then, of course, you know, Pharrell Williams is the legendary music producer, super producer out here in these streets. If you don't know Pharrell Williams, you must probably have been living under a rock for some time. So without further ado, you know we got to do Copyright Explained. And if you want to donate to the channel, you can do so right over here. And then if you feel like you're such a whiz or you don't feel like hearing me ramble on, you can use the chapter skip buttons below. All right, let's go. Copyright. The sole right which an author has in their own original literary compositions. The exclusive right of an author to print, publish, and vend their own literary works for their own benefit. Now, of course, there are 2 main rights of copy that the music industry operates and revolves around, and that's the masters and the publishing. And the masters is referred to as the sound recording copyright. Sound recordings as in records, masters, phonogram, or the audio recording file, i.e. the WAV, MP3, AIFF of the composition and or song. Now, you can collect your master recording royalties or the proceeds due from the sale and streaming of the master recording via your distributor like TuneCore or DistroKid, and if you have a major label deal, then it's them, all right? Now, you can also collect the performance royalties via the master sound recording via Sound Exchange and PPL over in the UK. Sound Exchange is based here in America, and if you are outside of America, any other organization that collects these sound recording performance royalties are referred to as neighboring rights. Now, publishing is referred to as a performing arts copyright here in America. Okay, performing arts as in the composition, sheet music, MIDI files, publishing, or song to be performed. You can collect the performance royalties for the composition via BMI, CSAC, ASCAP here in America, and PRS over in the UK, and other countries have their own performing rights organization as well to collect those royalties for you. All right, now, you can collect the mechanical royalties due from the composition via Harry Fox, Music Reports, and the Mechanical Licensing Collective here in America. You can also collect your mechanical royalties over in the UK from MCPS. So now, Lyric Find right here. You can get your lyric display royalties from Lyric Find and Music Match, but that's that. Let's go through the 6 rights of copyright to be exercised to the fullest extent of the United States Code under Title 17, and that's the right to reproduce. The right to reproduce the copyrighted work in copies or phonorecords, physical or digital format. The right to prepare derivative works. The right to prepare derivative works based upon the copyrighted work. The right to distribute. The right to distribute copies or phonorecords of the copyrighted work to the public by sale or other transfer of ownership or by rental, lease, or lending. And then we have the right to public performance, the right to perform the copyrighted work publicly, the right to public display, the right to display the copyrighted work publicly, and the right to digital performance, and that's the right to digital audio transmission performance. All right, so let's jump into the first clip.
And I think business and creativity is much in the same. One, creativity without business is usually victimization.
Yeah, yeah.
And business without creativity is a waste of fucking time.
That doesn't work.
That's what, you know, those meetings, those are, man.
Let's not even, I don't even want to go back there. I don't want my mind even think of that.
Man,
Yeah.
It's one of the worst things you could ever do is be working with a company and then like
no one has an idea.
They go do some stupid shit, like it's a music company, they go hire like the super successful CEO from an ice cream company to come run it and some shit.
So what is this victimization that Pharrell is talking about? Usually, if you understand it, it's self-explanatory, right? But you're coming into this industry. Chances are you stumble upon this channel because you're trying to not be a victim, not to be taken advantage of. Without having some type of business acumen or vernacular, or something about yourself, hope I'm using the right words here, you can tend to get lost in the sauce of all this stuff. That's why I have my How to Start series, right? Mainly for those who are just trying to get started in the music industry. But there are a lot of people who are in the music industry, and I don't care whether they won Grammys or have platinum plaques or whatever. They have platinum records. There are a lot of people who do not understand the workings of this business simply because the majority of people that work in this industry are creators. So if you cannot work your way through your contract and understand how it actually works, how the money flows, and what it takes to make the money flow through that contract to your pockets, you do not have a thorough understanding of your place in this industry. All right. And so you then become a victim because you don't know that, oh, maybe I shouldn't have given this much percentage to this person or to this company, or I probably paid too much, or I didn't pay enough. And now my money flow is suffering because of that. So you have to understand how this business works. So let's jump into clip number 2.
He was like, well, let me just tell you something. He was like, people think the easiest part of a harvest is the harvest. He's like, that's not. The easiest part is the seed. When you ask the universe for something, it's so easy to ask. Mm-hmm. You know, the hardest part is when that harvest come in.
You got to catch it.
You got to do all that work. In the Bible, it says, you know, the harvest is ripe, but the laborers are few. So this harvest is everywhere. Mm-hmm. But who's really willing to do the work, Steve?
Yeah.
Like, if you think about it,
let's not talk. I mean,
Jay, he does the work. You do the work. Puff, he does the work.
Okay, so I want to keep playing this clip. I have to split this one in 2. Okay. But when he says, like, people don't understand that Jay does the work, Puff does the work, whatever it is you think about them, right? Whatever it is you feel about them, oh, they're too big, or they got this money, or whatever you have to say about the upper echelon of people in this industry, bottom line is, whatever incentives or provisions they got, they still had to do the work. As a matter of fact, I do want to slide in a clip of, well, actually, I'm not going to do that. I'll probably do it on another video. But if you've ever seen Drake's intro to the Billboard Music Awards, you know what I'm talking about. It takes work to get there, okay? There's another clip that I have to point to in this video when they talked about Puff, all right? I just want to address, I put it on the show before with Beats by the Pound, right? KLC mentions it in this clip from the 85 South show. Check it out.
Dude, that's why when people say, that nigga fucking Puff it don't produce, yeah, he do.
Yes, he does.
See what I'm saying? So, like I say, it's not just coming from one person. You have to do the work. There is no exception for doing the work, period. So you can't think that, oh, I'm just going to ask this person for this, right? We're all connected in this industry. I'm connected. People ask me for things all the time. But you can ask, but my thing is, if you ask me and I deliver on your ask, are you going to deliver something, a product, or are you going to take that ask, turn it into something, and generate something way or much more bigger than what you asked for? And chances are a lot of people don't, because they just aren't, they're just too afraid to start, or, you know, they're just stuck, or they can't get out of their own way. They're actually, more often than not, most creators and musicians are standing in their own way. So when you ask for something, understand that you are now responsible for producing something. Because next time you come and ask, the ask will be a little bit more harder, and it'll be a little bit more hard to have certain things delivered by certain people that you ask. I always want all of you all to remember, I don't care how independent you want to be. I do not care. You work in this industry, and the higher up you go, the smaller it gets. So either you determine an exit to get out of the industry, or you keep climbing higher. Bottom line is, you have to deal with the folks that when you were on the bottom, you were saying, oh, I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that. You will run into these people. And then you have to determine at that point when you run into them, okay, this is the floor that I'm stopping on. I'm going to diversify and I'm going to go left and right. I don't want to go up anymore. But you have to decide. You have to decide. Because like I said, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller as you go up. Let's jump into the next clip. Or let's finish this clip.
We've seen the guys who haven't done the work. We've seen the people who've been around the harvest and have done the work. I mean, if you've been around hip hop music, specifically hip hop, R&B music, whatever, black music, whatever term the industry likes to provide, which is ridiculous. But like over the last 25 years, like how did you not harvest that? How did you not turn that into something?
But you
No, that's my point I'm making.
You gotta be one of those guys where like you was born with the switch on. You know, you see a whole bunch of sheep, and it ain't just the black one, per se. Maybe culturally inside, but some of us were like, well, everybody keep their head down and following the flock. We go, but what's that way though?
You know how we get down.
Like,
you know how we get down.
But
yeah.
what's over there?
I don't even understand what y'all looking at. Everybody's already doing that. Why are you looking there? That's a distraction, actually.
Okay.
Being aware of your surrounding, always asking questions. I've said this on this channel before. Okay? I've said this on this channel before. All right? I actually did it in the Goody Mob video on this channel with Big Gip. That was one of my key points. Always ask questions. Question your environment. What can I do differently? Me as a unique person. What can I do differently as an artist, as a producer, as a songwriter, as a singer? In this music industry, to just turn the tide just a little bit, that makes me unique. And so you look around at what everybody else is doing. A lot of times we put blinders on and we don't want to see what's going on, but you have to carefully analyze your position geographically, right? Musically, genre-wise, to see what it is you can add to the equation, what it is everybody else is doing, and where you can slightly go. Just turn it off a degree or turn it to the right or to the left a degree, and to find your unique place to fit in. Okay? Because without that, you really have no momentum. You're actually following a wave that is on its way out once you want to jump on and surf that wave. So you either have to be the wave or see where the next wave is coming from so that you can hop on it, so that you can be unique in riding that wave.
What has been the most important lesson that you've learned, valuable lesson that you learned from the record business? Producer, artist, businessman, valuable lesson you learned, and really distill it.
Most valuable lesson that I've learned is that it's music business. And both of them you must be well-versed in, understand, or else they're gonna take advantage of you. If you're great in business and you have no taste with the music, somebody's gonna come take your money because they know you don't know no better. If you're well-versed in music, but you don't understand the business, somebody's going to make your money because you don't understand what your business should look like. So I think both are very important.
Okay. I'm so glad that Pharrell mentioned this. I really am, because I talk to a lot of small-time investors. I work with them. Over the years, I've seen it. I don't care if somebody could be like the head of the factory in their town, right? They're like a top-ranking attorney in their town. They got some extra side income, a real estate investor, got some extra cash, just an all-around entrepreneur, and says, hey, I want to get into the music game. I know how to invest in all these other businesses, but it's a common theme on my channel that people with money who know business but don't know music, right, will definitely get taken advantage of because they don't know no better. Like, it's not to be condescending. It's not to talk down on those who have money but don't know how the music industry works. It's simply because the money does not flow back to you as an investor the same way you would think like a regular business would work. It just doesn't work that way. I believe and I'm going to get on the TLC video in a minute later down the line in this episode as well. But it just doesn't work that way. Okay? Investing in music is not the same as investing in some other business. Two different types of things. So you will get taken advantage of because you come in, hey man, I got an extra $150,000 to spend. We're going to shoot the video and we're going to make it look like we have what it is. You don't know the pricing of videos and marketing costs and this, that, and the third, and all the PR and you don't know how to penny pinch that money because you're so used to just spending money like crazy that when people see in the music industry that you're a small time investor with a small 6 figures to invest in music, they're coming at you like sharks. And within 6 months, all of that money that you invested, that you thought you were going to get a nice return on, you lose because not even the attorney can tell you how to spend the money. And that's the facts. Now, on the artist side, right? If you don't understand the business from the art, he said it in a previous clip. But somebody will make your money for you, right? And then just give you the piece. Now, of course, this is going to happen anyway, but you have to understand, okay, no. I don't want a publishing deal yet. I want a collection deal, right? I don't want a label deal yet. I don't need it. I don't need that advance yet. I just need some distribution. I need some quality back-end services. I don't want the advance, bro. I don't need $250,000. We good. We straight. I can go find $250. We on the road. We rocking out right now. I just need some high quality distribution, more than what TuneCore and DistroKid is offering. Can you give me those white label services? It's knowing what to ask for. And that's what Pharrell is saying here in this clip. Now, let's jump into another one.
And if you find yourself in a situation, looking at the cameras for this one, you find yourself in a situation which is 65 to 75% of the time when you're in a compromised contract, don't stop making music. Like, that's going to help you. Don't do that. What you do is make the music, and there is a lawyer that will come and help you to unlock all of, all of verbal
acrobats.
Yeah, all of that, all of the verbal labyrinth that you are in, there is a way out of it, right? There was a way into it. There's a way out of it. Make the music. Don't stop making music.
This one is a touchy subject, right? Make the music. Keep making it. When you get into business with someone in this record industry, please do not sign the contract so fast. It's all about you as an artist, that is. And if you're a producer, it's about you as a producer. Don't sign these contracts so fast. Oh, we can't move on if you don't sign the contract. I can't do it. Well, if you got to rush me because this is my life, my emotional, you're giving me emotional baggage to handle all of this stuff. And if you got to rush me now, that means you're anxious and antsy about something. And I don't want to deal with that. I'm going to take this thing slow because this is my life. At the end of the day, I got to deal with this pressure, not you. You can jump ship and be like, all right, I'm out. I'm done. But now I have to deal with the fact that I just sat here and wasted time with you. So if there is a contract that you're in and you feel that it is now compromised due to the relationship, it might cost you money to get out of, but there is an attorney ready and willing to help you get out of it. Okay? You can't put a price on peace of mind. You cannot do that. Okay? So you have to think, my peace in my mind, is it worth dealing with this person who wants me to get into this contract? And be clear, The people who want you to sign at the record labels, they want to keep their bottom line. They want to stay above their bottom line, right? The A&R wants you to sign really fast because he's trying to keep his job, okay? At the end of the day, you got to keep your sanity and try not to go into debt. That is your obligation as an artist, as a creative, okay? But if you find yourself in a compromising situation, you might have to pay to get out of it, but the option is available for that to happen. All right, let's go into the next clip.
But let me explain something to you. Creativity is not coming out of you. Creativity is like the work of the universe. The universe, that's why they call them universities. The universe is a library. I was just telling somebody this yesterday. All we doing is checking ideas out. We can pretend that we being possessive. It was here before us, it's gonna be here after us. We just checking ideas out, right? And what you would have checked out on one day might not be what you would check out on the next day. So don't not make the music. Well, you got a library card that works, you use that card every day.
Wow.
Okay, so I'm going to equate this one to inspiration, right? When you get inspired to create this music, when you get inspired to create the next opportunity for your artist as a business person, right? You got to go with it. I mean, you got to get it down on a piece of paper if you're on the business side. As a creative, you got to get in the studio and get that idea down, record it on the voice recorder, right? Because inspiration sparks up at any moment. And you might forget it in the next 15, 30 seconds what the idea was. Because that information is flowing through you at all times. And if you don't take that idea, it's going to flow to somebody else in the universe. That's how it works. I agree with the library card scenario. I do. I agree with that because what you may check out today, you might not want to check out tomorrow because of your experiences and your awarenesses about life. It may be elevated a little bit more. So you might not be interested in what you were interested in today, tomorrow. And also what you're inspired by today may not inspire you tomorrow. So don't take these creative processes, these creative ideas for granted. All right, let's go into the next clip.
I just want you to give them some words, some parting words about the idea of being independent, owning their music, and owning their future.
We're so used to being owned in some way, shape, or form. You know, our debts are owned. Sometimes you'll find you paying a debt to one person and you thought you was actually paying it to somebody else, but somebody bought that debt. We're really good at that in this country. Is like the concept of like ownership. But no one should own you. No one should own your actions. No one should own your creations. But you. And anybody else you decide that, you know, if you want to like, you know, this NFT thing, right? Non-fungible tokens, like, yeah, if that's what you want to do, great. But you shouldn't walk into a company and say, I'm going to make this record. They give you an advance. Then for the tenure of the entire time that your album's out, you're working to pay back that advance. Like, no bank.
It's illegal. It's illegal.
No bank gives a company a loan to start a company and walks away with the trademarks.
It's illegal.
Walks away with the
patents.
Walks away with the patents. Walks away with the product, and owed the founder is somewhere still paying off that and borrowing future earnings against future earnings.
Against his patents or his trademarks.
To try to get it back, but they don't never get it. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. And you know, there's a lot of people working in the music industry to change that on the record company side and on the publishing side. It's not enough of them. Mm-hmm. Because that's been legalized, right? So they're not in a rush to get it done. They might be in a hush to get it done. Freudian slip. But there are good people in the business. Should you want to do that? And it's got to make sense. But You should always own your creations, man.
All right, okay. Let's address the first part of this clip. No bank, if you need a loan to keep your operation going. Now, mind you, in order to get approved for a loan at a bank, you already have to have some collateral, the proof of the business actually running. You need books to show that there has been money earned and lost. You need the P&L, the profit and loss statements, and all this to get a loan at a bank. This is why I tell people that record labels are not bank loans. For the umpteenth time, it doesn't work. Pharrell just clearly said, no, you don't walk into a bank, get a loan, and then the bank walks away with the copyrights and the trademarks and everything. That's what makes the record business different, a record label different. Okay? It is not, if you were looking for a loan to help your operation that is already running, that is different. But if you're looking for a recording deal, hey, I'm going to give you money to record these masters for us and we will own them. Versus if, hey, you already recorded those masters. You know what I mean? But we're going to take them by way of this money exchange. You see what happened there? But you did, if you had a regular loan, that wouldn't happen. The bank just wants they want to make money off some interest and get it back. So I have to break this clip up 2 times. So now what we have to do is jump into what I explained on the TLC video on my channel. Let's do it. Everybody always likes to use the slogan that record deals are bank loans. They are not bank loans at all. Record deals are not bank loans. You don't get a record deal and just walk in and say, hey, man, I borrowed $3 million, but, I made it back in 1 year on the road. Here's your $3 million. It don't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Here's the key phrase. All loan money is paid back from the artist's royalty. So in other words, here's what I'm saying. If I loaned you $1 and told you pay me back $14, would you take that deal in exchange for getting your voice and creativity broadcasted to the world at massive scale? I'm going to give you $1. Hey, man, I'm going to give you $1, baby, but give me back 14 on the back end. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense to you? It don't make sense to me. Like I couldn't do that. Hey, man, I'm going to give you $1 to work with. And you're going to go out here and you're going to make just a massive, I'm going to give you everything you want, but you just got to bring me back $14. Can't do it. I can't do that. All right. So that's a bit high. Like I said, it's not a bank loan at all. Bank loan, you go in, you get some money, you got an interest rate. I didn't even do the interest. I didn't even want to get into that ugly number on what an interest rate would look like on this type of loan right here. All right. This is ridiculous. You should always own your masters. I don't care if the record company purchases a minority stake in the ownership of the master for sake of administration purposes. When you get so big that you actually can't handle it, or you don't have an in-house administrator or whatever, or you just need an administrator to handle all of this. Okay. If you just need a music administrator to handle all of the payment tasks for your music, cool. But that doesn't mean you need a record deal. It is on you to finance all of this stuff. Okay. So you should always own your masters and your publishing. But as I guess Kevin Liles and a couple other people in the industry, you got to know what to do with these masters now. Before you run around saying, I own my masters and I got them to myself, it does no good to you if they're sitting in your hard drive or halfway making the amount of money that it possibly could make. Yet and still, the label should not walk away with all of your rights. All right, let's go into the next clip.
I've had really amazing people to help me with that, to help me look at things in the right way. For a very long time, man, you're not owning what you think you're owning. But when you get that sense of ownership and you understand it, the only thing you want to do is share that with everybody else, man. Yes, you should be no one's slave. You should be no one's indentured servant. You should be your own master. period. You should be your own master of your creations. You were the master of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, I only have one master. That's God. That's it. That's my only master. I'll slave for him any way, shape, or form. That's because I get it. And I want that same sense of, this is what freedom looks and feels like. When you just go, oh yeah, thank you, God. You know, that's the only master.
All right, so upon closing this thing out, I just want to say I really appreciate the fact that Pharrell used the term slave and indentured servitude in the same talking point, if you will. If you just so happen to look up what indentured servitude is, you might just go down the rabbit hole and have your mind blown. I know that really doesn't have anything to do with music, but if you are an avid watcher and viewer of this channel, you might have noticed that I mentioned indentured servitude back on the TLC video. So I like that this term is now really entering the mainstream narrative because it's something that needs to be talked about. And if you go look it up, you know what I mean. All right. Anyway, you should be no one's slave. So don't do that to yourself. Don't start out that way from the jump. Okay. When you don't have to. All right. Anyway, let's close this video out. Make sure you download all the profit maximization checklists and all that stuff below. You can text me 470-291-5767, 470-291-5767, right back here to go directly straight to my phone and I can get in contact with you. Please be patient. There are a lot of numbers in my phone and a lot of people trying to ring me off the hook every day. All right. Anyway, I will see you all later. Thanks for watching. Peace. Everybody, thanks for watching the show. Log on to musicmoneymakeover.com/shop to download all my books and free guides. And while you're there, click on the book a call tab to get a one-on-one Zoom call with me to get all your music business questions answered and solved. Thanks for watching.